Am I 33 male wrong for not telling my wife 31 female about an incident that happened between me and her best friend 33 female? I've been married for 6 years, and my wife and I have a 3-year-old child. We're happy, and I'm glad to have such a kind and smart wife. For the past 6 months, my wife's best friend Amanda has been living with us. Amanda and my wife have been best friends since school. Amanda lived in the city with her boyfriend, while we live in the suburbs nearby. They seemed happy in their 2-year relationship. However, last year, my wife noticed bruises on Amanda's hand and asked her about them. At first, Amanda said they were work injuries, but my wife kept asking, and we found out Amanda was in a very bad relationship. Amanda's boyfriend lost his job and became very controlling and abusive. He accused her of cheating, made her link her phone to his computer, and controlled their money. There was even a time when he hurt her badly and we had to take her to the hospital. Amanda's parents aren't around much, so my wife asked if she could stay with us for a while. We have a 4-bedroom house with just the 3 of us, so I agreed. I told my wife Amanda could stay as long as she needed. After what happened, Amanda was really broken. She cried a lot and stayed in her room all day. It was hard to see her like that. She couldn't work anymore because of her mental health problems. Having Amanda live with us has been a big change. It's not always easy, but it's important to help friends when they need it. My wife has been amazing, supporting Amanda through everything. And even though it's tough sometimes, I know we're doing the right thing by helping her. I hope things get better for all of us soon. My wife is really kind. She took care of Amanda like family and made her feel loved. Amanda is thankful to us for helping her in her worst times. She helps around the house and with our kid, but we never leave him alone with her. Now Amanda is getting back to normal. She smiles sometimes and is looking for a job again. Now, on to what happened last Friday. My wife and I went to work as usual and dropped our son at daycare. I had a doctor's appointment at noon, so I came straight home afterward since I didn't have much work at the office. I made some lunch, then went to my room to sit on my bed and reply to emails. Amanda was in her room, and I didn't talk to her when I got home. Around 2 p.m., I heard Amanda's door open and her walking in the hallway. Suddenly, our bedroom door opened and Amanda walked in, topless and only in her underwear. I was shocked and not sure how long I stared at her. After a few seconds, I blurted out, "I'm sorry." She quickly covered herself with her hands. She apologized and explained that she just wanted to borrow my wife's clothes because her laundry wasn't done. It was super embarrassing to talk to her in that state, so I looked away. She apologized again and then left the bedroom. The whole thing lasted less than 2 minutes. Later, she came back into our bedroom fully dressed and apologized again. She said it was really embarrassing and she didn't know anyone would be home. I told her it's okay and that I should have let her know I was back early from the office. She asked me not to tell my wife about the incident. She felt embarrassed that she walked around without clothes and that I saw her like that. I assured her it's okay and that we should forget about it. I haven't told my wife about what happened, and it's been 5 days now. It wasn't a big deal, but I feel guilty about it. I feel even more guilty for not telling her the truth. But I'm worried if my wife takes it the wrong way, it might affect her relationship with Amanda. I don't want to make Amanda uncomfortable in our house by telling my wife what happened. Am I wrong for keeping this from my wife? I'm scared that if Amanda tells her first, it will make me look really bad. But if I do tell her, I don't want her to blame Amanda for any of it. What should I do? Update 1. So, I decided to tell my wife last night when she came home. I thought I'd bring it up casually so we could both laugh about it and move on. When my wife got home, I made sure I stayed in our bedroom. I asked Amanda to stay with our kid downstairs. As my wife was changing, I asked her if Amanda still borrows her clothes. She used to borrow them a lot when she first moved in. My wife said yes, and she's told Amanda she can take anything from her closet if she needs it. Then I asked if Amanda had told her about the funny incident from Friday. My wife said no, so I told her the whole story about how I came home early, and Amanda came into the room almost naked to get her clothes. It was embarrassing for both of us. While I was explaining, my wife froze and turned pale. She started murmuring in Spanish, her and Amanda's native language. Though I don't understand Spanish well, I caught some words. I asked if she was okay, and she sat beside me, wanting to know everything in detail. I tried to brush it off, saying it was nothing and that Amanda probably didn't hear me come in, but my wife had tears in her eyes. I kept insisting it wasn't a big deal, but she kept asking for more details. She wanted to know how Amanda talked to me. I told her Amanda hardly talks to me, just a few words now and then. Then my wife brought up 3 weeks ago when she visited her parents for 4 days. Amanda stayed back. I told her everything seemed normal. We took turns cooking dinner and looking after the kid when I got home from work. The only difference was Amanda spent more time in her room. But one evening, while I was watching TV after putting the kid to bed, Amanda came and sat beside me on the sofa without saying much. I asked if she wanted me to change the channel or put on something she liked, but she just said she wanted to leave her room. She didn't flirt or act strange. I kept telling my wife it was just an accident and couldn't understand why she was so upset. She didn't respond much, just said, "Okay," and agreed with me. But she also said I should have told her about the incident sooner and not keep secrets from her. She gave me a long lecture. I explained I didn't think it was a big deal and thought Amanda would tell her, but I was glad I brought it up. After dinner, my wife asked Amanda to join us, and she did. While chatting, my wife brought up the incident and reassured Amanda that she didn't need to feel embarrassed. She said it's normal for things like that to happen when we all live together, and it's not a big deal. At first, Amanda was surprised, but then she explained to my wife that she was scared to tell her because she thought my wife might judge her because of her past. My wife gave her a serious look, and Amanda quickly changed the subject. Later that night, I asked my wife what was going on. I asked her not to keep any secrets from me, and I said if she didn't tell me, I'd ask Amanda directly about her past. I thought maybe Amanda had feelings for me before we got married or something. But my wife didn't want to answer and kept trying to change the subject and cuddle. I kept pushing, and finally she told me. It turns out, when Amanda was in her early 20s, she was in a relationship with a married co-worker who was much older than her. It was like a sugar daddy relationship. He told her he was in an open relationship and would leave his wife in a few years once their kids went to college. This makes sense now because Amanda is really pretty, like Miss USA level. And I always wondered why she was single most of the time I knew her. Eventually, she ended things with him and started dating her boyfriend, James, who turned out to be abusive. My wife thinks Amanda might have still been involved with the older guy while she was with James, which explains why he kept accusing her of cheating. That's why my wife got emotional when I told her what Amanda did, because she was worried Amanda doesn't have boundaries when it comes to married men. She said Amanda always looks up to us and praises me for being a loyal partner, saying how lucky she is. My wife was worried at first when she brought Amanda home, but her actions since my wife was away show that she respects boundaries, so it must have been an accident. My wife told me she's thankful I let Amanda stay and see what a healthy marriage looks like. This morning was even weirder. I woke up early because I couldn't sleep well and went downstairs for coffee. 5 minutes later, Amanda came into the kitchen and said she was relieved my wife didn't overreact to Friday's incident. She said I'm a good husband, hugged me, and kissed my cheek. She's never hugged me in the last 6 months. She seemed happy and chatted with me while we had coffee. I can't believe my wife didn't tell me such a big detail about Amanda all these years. It's possible she cheated during her relationship with Jim, and my wife's been covering for her all along. She even kept it a secret from me after lecturing about not keeping secrets. I don't know what else she's hiding. It's all very confusing. I'm angry at my wife for lying to me for Amanda all these years. I also see Amanda differently now. I'm worried that me downplaying the incident to my wife might have sent the wrong signals to Amanda. Let's hope Amanda respects our boundaries from now on, and I hope she moves out soon.